Okay, I'm recording. Nels is absent. Only her, nee? Okay. So they gave you the set of data. It wasn't arranged. So you had to arrange it. I arranged it there. And then the first question asked you to calculate the quartiles and the interquartile range. Right. Okay. So I told you I like the position formula, but I only use the median one. I use it for the median and for the two quartiles. So I'm going to show you how I do it again. So I know there are 10 sets of data. So 10 plus 1 is 11, divided by 2 is 5.5. Now, 5.5 means between the fifth and the sixth number. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. It's in between these two. Therefore, I add them, divide by 2, it gives me 97.5. Now, very important, the median is now this number in between. So as I've said, that means it's not 95 and it's not 100. So the bottom half of the data has got 95 in it as part of it. And the upper half have got 100 as part of it. So at the bottom there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So I just use the median again. I say 5 plus 1 is 6 divided by 2. That means the third number will be the first quartile. 1, 2, 3, it's 90. And then it will also be the third number on the upper set. It will be 115. And then the interquartile range is 115 minus 90. Let me just hear what this is. Okay, the next question. Any questions about the IQR? You all got it. Next up, they ask you to calculate the outliers. So, we know there's a formula to calculate the outliers. Q1 minus 3 over 2 IQR. This is just Afrikaans for it, okay? And Q3 plus 3 over 2 IQR. And then it would be 90 minus 3 over 2 times 25 and 115 plus 3 over 2 times 25. And then I get my interval from 52.5 to 152.5. So what that means is any number smaller than 52.5 is an outlier. Any number greater than 152.5 is an outlier. Sê dit vir my daar in daai boksie net. Nee, daai gaan jy vir my stapel. Dis reg? Okay. Yes. En dan sit jy hom van die boonste boks. Dankie. Okay, so which numbers are smaller than 52.5? 40 and 50. Bigger than 152.5? 155. So I've got 3 outliers. Do you understand? Okay. Then you had to draw the box and whisker diagram. So they didn't say you must draw the box and whisker diagram and show the outliers. But I'm going to draw both of them for you so that you can see if they'd ask the one or the other. They don't usually ask to draw it showing the outliers. But if they do, then it's not a problem. You just indicate it with a round circle and then exclude it for the rest. So if you didn't show the outliers, you'd go and make a dot at the minimum or a line. If you make the dot, it must be colored in. And 155 for the maximum value. Then Q1, I calculated it to be 90. Q2 was 97.5 and Q3 was 115. Then you close the box and you just join those two dots to make your whiskers. And there's the box and whisker. I would advise also writing the values there, 40 and 90 and 97.5 and 115 and 155. Any questions on box and whisker? And if they give you the box and whisker, then you will also be able to use it, no? So what you can get from the box and whisker is the minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and the maximum. And then they can also ask you how skewed this thing is if you have the mean. Then if the mean is on the right hand side, it's skewed to the right. If the mean is on the left hand side of the median, it's skewed to the left. Easy, no? Okay, if you were to draw the box and whisker and you had to indicate or show the outliers, you'd start by making a circle that's not colored in for each one of the outliers. Okay? Then the rest you just draw the same. So your minimum is now the number, the first number greater than your two outliers. Kan ek oor 2 minute kom? Okay, so that will be 90. Do you agree? And then the biggest one will be 120. So I'll make my first dot there, my other dot there. Q1 is still 90, Q3 is still 115, Q2 is still 97.5. Close the block or the box, and then you just can't make the whisker to the other dot because it's on the line. Then it just looks like that. Do you all understand? Okay, so there's how you get to both of them. So I asked you to add two questions, the mean and the standard deviation. And I wanted you to use your calculator. So those are the two answers. Whether you got it right or you didn't get it right, you're going to take out your calculator now and do it with me again, because the more we practice it, the better we'll remember it. So before you start, always, even if you haven't done a sum, you press Shift, Clear, All, and Yes. Clean your calculator so there's nothing stored that you maybe didn't know about. Do I need a frequency? No. But if I needed a frequency, remember, it's Shift, Mode, 1 down, Stat, and then you put your frequency on. We wrote it down yesterday. But I don't want it on, so I switch it off. Then you go to Mode, you choose number 2, Stat, you choose number 1, and then you've got your column. So you're going to read it in 40 equal to 50 equal to 90 equal to 95 equal to 95 equal to 100 equal to 105 equal to 115 equal to 120 equal to 155 equal to, and I have 10 sets of data. Now if I can give you advice, these didn't have many data, but you'll see with the old question papers that we're going to work out with, the first one you're going to calculate has got 27 sets of data. It will take all of them, no problem, but go through them again. Just make sure you put them in correctly, because if you didn't, you just delete and put in the new number. And if maybe you missed one, and it's now a small number, just read it in last. It will sort itself out. It doesn't have to be sorted when you read it in. Okay, so once you've added all of them, we press All Clear, and then we say Shift, number 1, and then you choose 4, and now you have the options whether you want to calculate the mean or the standard deviation. So first we want the mean, and it gives you 96.5. Then I want the standard deviation. I choose number 3, and it's 31.3089, so rounded off it will be 31.31. Okay, Everyone fine with that? No questions? Do you need to understand statistics? No. You need to learn it. Okay, please, the copy machine wasn't working yesterday, so I copied it myself and I stapled them myself. I just wanted to quickly check that you have all the pages. Okay. So page 1 is November. See, this one is already messed up. You have November 2018 at the top. Yes. Okay. Alright, I need you to page 1, and then another one, and then another one. So you get to question 1, DBE, November 2015 at the top. Okay, let's take back one, page 1 back, please. Just page 1 back. Can I borrow yours? Then forget it out. Okay, so this is 2018. That one should actually not be there first. So if you page 2 pages, then you should get to 2015. Okay. So now, in class you're going to start already. You're going to do question 1 of 2015 and question 2 at the back of it of 2015. And then your homework together with that is going to be question 1 and 2 that are on the same page for 2016. Okay. You'll notice when you do it, it comes down to the same type of question. So I want you to do 2015 in class so that I can help you. So that when you do 2016, you get it right. I'll give it back now. You see there are 27 values. Make sure when you put them in. There is no answer book. You're going to determine your own number line when you draw the box and whisker, or when you draw the cumulative frequency of the OGIV. Then, at 2.1, the next page, they say estimate the average weight loss. The weight loss. We don't estimate. It's not that you guess an answer. The reason they say estimate there is because you need to get the middle value of the interval. And then you multiply the middle value with the frequency, and then you must add them all to get the total and divide it with the number of data. Do you remember that? It's this one here on the board. Now I just want to tell you one thing. You can do this with your calculator as well. Then you choose the frequency table. Then the value that you substitute or you put in at the x's will be this middle value. 1,250, 1,750, 2,250. Okay, you understand? The middle of this. And then you put in these frequency values into the second column. And then you'll have your calculator calculate it. Okay. Do it with both ways so that you practice the calculator thing, because you're going to forget it. That's the one thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is at the cumulative frequency table. Not the cumulative. At the OGIV. These values as they are there are only the frequency. You're going to have to find the cumulative frequency as well by yourself without them telling you to do it. You must know you need it for the OGIV. Okay? And then if you were to draw a histogram, here at the bottom you would give the intervals. You'd say 1,000 to 1,500, 1,500 to 2,000. You'd give the intervals on your x-axis. With the OGIV you don't give the intervals, you count. Like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or you can count in 500s, whatever you prefer. And always, the cumulative frequency is on the y-axis. Always. Okay, I think that's it for now. You can start so long. I just quickly want to run to Mr. Malan, who's calling me, and then I will be right back to help you with it.